Welcome to Sarah Lottie's. For today's workout, you'll just need yourself, your mat, and a set of light dumbbells. This workout is especially good if you have got a limited space to work out in, such as a small hotel room, studio apartment, or like me, staying in quite a petite Airbnb. It's a nice quiet workout in compact spaces. Let's get to it. We're going to start today just at the front of your mat. So setting those dumbbells just off to the side for now, and we'll get into an all fours position. So fingertips just ahead of your shoulders and finding that beautiful long line from your knees all the way up to your hips. We're going to start with a couple cat-cows. Nice big exhale to lift the hips, tuck your chin as your gaze goes to your thighs. Big inhale, rounding through that belly and finding length from your hips all the way out to the crown of your head. Exhale to lift the hips up, tuck the chin, gaze goes to the thighs. Nice big inhale, slight bending of those elbows and looking forward. Big exhale, pressing up, and nice inhale coming forward. Gonna find ourselves here just in a nice all fours position, and we'll do that cat-cow with a little bit of balance. So inhaling, those toes come out from behind you. We'll start in that left side. Left toes come up in line with that left hip. Right fingertips come forward. Right elbow to your left knee, round, round, round. Inhale, extend everything forward. Let's do one more just like that. Nice big exhale to lift your hips around your spine, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend fingertips and toes out in either direction. One more just like that, elbow to knee. Inhale, everything extends forward. Let's hold this one. We're going to draw those toes forward and extend them out. Toes come forward and extend them out. You can find a nice flex to that foot, starting to wake up your hamstring here. You're going to hold that foot up to the ceiling in 3. Foot is up to the ceiling in 2. And 1. Roll those shoulders down your back, squeezing up through that core, no arching. Little up an inch, little down with that foot. Little up and a little down. You're here for 5. You're here for 4. Let's hold it in 3. In 2 and 1. Extend toes out, and then we'll drop the hand and the knee down to the mat. We're going to extend those right toes this time. Left fingertips come forward. Draw those toes in line with your hip. Big exhale, lifting through the hips. Gaze to your thighs, and then nice big inhale, everything extends. Big exhale, that elbow to knee, lifting of the hips, rounding spine, and then inhale, everything extends, finding that length. One more just like that, elbow to knee. Nice big inhale, everything extends. We're going to hold it here. All right, let's draw that heel to your glute and extend the toes back out. Heel comes to the glute and toes come right back out. Now you can find a flex to that foot, heel to glute, toes back out, being mindful that right knee is not drifting down, and you're squeezing through that core using your transverse abdominals. Those are the side abs. We're going to hold that right foot up in 3, in 2, and 1. Let's hold that right foot up, and then little pulses, little up an inch, little down, a little up, and a little down. You have 3. Squeeze that core up. You've got 2. And 1, extend toes, drop knee and fingertips down, and we'll find a nice big stretch here. Whew. All right, fingertips are going to stack again, and we're going to find ourselves in a modified plank position here. So drawing your hips just ahead of your knees and rolling those shoulders down your back. We're going to warm up the triceps here, finding an inhale, dropping down, and exhale, pressing yourself right back up. Inhale, dropping down, exhale, pressing yourself back up, warming up that back line of the body. So everything here working, backs of your forearms working here, those triceps. You've got your shoulders working for you and warming up those spinal muscles here as well. Being mindful that you're keeping a nice long line in your spine. So that crown of the head all the way down to your tailbone. Let's hold it down in 3, in 2, and 1. Hold it nice and low, just to hold, squeezing in that core. You're here for 3. Press those shins into the mat for 2 and for 1. And a nice big press back here. Beautiful. All right, we're going to find just a little extension here of your spine before we get to the workout. So making sure that low back is nice and warmed up. So we'll find ourselves here just in a nice forward position. We can prop ourselves up onto your forearms here, okay? Beautiful. We're going to find a little single leg kick here. So squeezing those shoulders behind your back. I'm going to kick that heel to your glute and extend. Kick it for 3, for 2, and 1. Point the toe back down. Kick for 3, for 2, and 1, and back down for 3, for 2, and 1, back down for 3, for 2, and 1, back down for 3, for 2, for 1, back down. Beautiful. All right, finding that beautiful rolling of your shoulders back. Woo, we're gonna hold it here and then drop that chest down. Just a little lift here and a little lower, getting that little spinal extension. Little lift and a little lower. We're gonna hold it up in 3, in 2, and 1. Let's bring both of those legs in. Kick, kick, extend, kick, kick, extend, kick, kick, extend, kick, kick, extend. Make sure you're not slumping in those shoulders. Really warming up those spinal muscles here. Woo! Nice big kick and extend for 3, for 2, and for 1. Beautiful. All right, let's pop it back up onto those all fours and give yourself a nice little stretch, finding that flexion back in your spine. All righty, our little compact space workout here. I feel like I'm in a little box. Kind of fun. All right, we're going to start here, my friends, with one of our dumbbells. And we're going to find a nice supported side position here. So start with your right forearm down, right knee is on the mat. And we're going to start with some fire hydrants here. That weight can rest just in front of you for now. You're going to roll those shoulders down your back and open up that knee, finding that beautiful rotation of the hip and rolling it right back down. Opening it up, finding that rotation and closing it right back down. Now, if you'd like a little extra here, that weight can come up with your hand as you open right up. Beautiful. And come right back down. Just keeping that weight nice and stationary. Opening it up and coming right back down. Let's add on. Open up, extend, and bend. And find that rotation, that little threading of the needle. Open, extend, come down, thread the needle. It's open. Extend, come down, thread the needle. Each time you thread that needle, think about lifting your hips up nice and high, just like we did in those nice cat-cows. Now we've got light dumbbells here. You can always double up on those dumbbells depending on the weight. Should be feeling that tricep each time you open up. Beautiful. And really feeling that right oblique, that supporting leg. Let's hold that leg up in 5, in that extension in 4, in 3, 1 more, we've got 2, and 1. Hold it up here. Beautiful. All right, arm is just going to extend. Make sure you're not slumping in that right arm, and little pulses, little up an inch, little down, that's it. Little tiny pulses, little flutters for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Good. Now, that weight can stay exactly where it is. You're just going to draw that knee in and kick. Finding a flex to the foot. Knee comes in, extends out. Knee comes in, extends out. Good. If at any point you want, you can just drop that weight, have your hand up here. The weight's just a little extra, getting a little extra stability here. Let's hold that knee in 5. In 4, knees coming in 3, in 2, and 1. Weight's going to rest on the hip. Little opening up to the sky. Nice and stable in the upper body. Tiny pulses. You're here for 5, here for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Everything extends. Come back down. Now that right side might be starting to feel the heat here. That's by design. It's giving you that nice support here in the legs. Beauty. All right, friends, you can hold on to those weights. And then we're just going to push back and find a nice push-up position here. Drop the knees down. Extend, come up. Good. Knees come down. Extend, come up. Good. Drop knees down. Extend, come up. Good. Let's hold those knees hovering in 3, in 2, And one, those knees are just hovering just like that. All right, roll those shoulders down your back, and then we're going to twist the hips side to side, coming through the toes, and then to the blade edges of the side of your feet. Side to side here. Whew. Making sure we're not slumping in the shoulders. Thinking about spreading those shoulder blades apart. Let's come back to center in 3. We'll come back to center in 2. Back to center here in 1. All right, let's drop those knees down. Exhale, push up. Knees down. Knees come up. Making sure you're stable in those shoulders. Squeezing the glutes. Squeezing the thighs, squeezing your hamstrings, and like you're wearing a really tight pair of pants, just lifting up here. Woo, you're here for 3. Hold it steady for 2. And for 1, let's push it back. Good job. All right, we're going to transfer that weight over to our right side. So we're still going to be focusing on that left leg, but we're going to grab the weight in your right hand. So we'll extend those left toes out. And then as we extend those left toes out, right hand can come behind you, finding that tricep extension. Find a bicep curl, knee comes to nose. Everything extends out, finding that balance. Bicep curl, knee to nose round, and extend. Now, being mindful that that right elbow stays locked in at your side. Everything is squeezing together. As you exhale and as you inhale, everything extends out, finding that squeeze and extend. Let's hold those left toes out in 3, in 2, and 1. Left toes are out, good. And then we're going to bring that weight forward here. Sweep arms back, and weight comes forward. Sweeping that arm back, and weight comes forward, getting a little rotation here in your shoulder and a lot of stability here on that left side, being mindful those left toes aren't dropping down. Whew. Let's hold that weight in a neutral position in 3, in 2, and 1. That weight can come right back down, and we're going to draw that left knee to your left elbow and back to center. Press, squeeze, getting that left oblique, and back to center. Pressing, squeezing, not dropping those hips. Back to center. Really working that left side body. Making sure you've got a sharp point to those toes. That will ensure your leg is working the entire time and we're not drooping. So a new angle here of rotation in that hip. We're also getting those side parts of the glute med, as well as the glute min, the little helpers of that big gluteus maximus. Let's hold that left knee to your left elbow in 3, in 2, and 1. Just hold it here, and little up an inch, little down, a little up, a little down. You've got 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1, come down, push yourself back, nice stretch, and you can roll out those wrists if you need. All right. From here, my friends, we're going to reverse that. So I'm going to have that weight transferred over to your left hand, and then we're going to place that right hand down on the mat. Now, those right toes are going to come out, and we'll extend them out behind you. All right, so we'll find that nice big lock position here. Good. And we'll find that nice bicep curl drawing in and tricep coming out. Bicep in, knee to nose, tricep coming out. Finding that bicep exhale. Inhale, everything extends. Big exhale, knee to nose, rounding of that spine. We're going to hold out. The right toes in 3. In 2, hold out the right toes. And 1, we're going to sweep that weight forward and sweep it back. Sweep shoulder forward and sweep it back. Getting the entire front and back line of the body here. Lots of stability working here. Wanting to make sure just that arm is moving from your shoulder joint. Ooh, full extension here. All right, let's hold that weight to a neutral spot in 3. In 2. And 1. We'll bring that weight right back down. All righty, we're going to draw that right elbow to your right knee. other way around rather. That right knee to your right elbow, finding that beautiful rotation here. Keeping nice and steady in the left hand, knee to elbow, and extend. Finding that knee to elbow, and extend. Beauty. Woo! Finding that deep squeeze. Let's hold that knee to your elbow in 5. In 4, that knee to elbow in 3. In 2, and 1. Tiny little up an inch, little down, little squeezes here, little up, little down. You have 3. You've got 2, hold it, and 1. Come back to center, full extension, drop those toes down, knee comes down, pushing yourself back. All right, we've got another side here, and we're going to be working just into that beautiful clam. So we're going to find ourselves just turned a little bit around here, and we'll find that left elbow down on the mat. And then you can start here, friends, just by opening it up to that clam and giving it a close. A little open and a little close. We're going to open, find that extension, good, and close. Ooh, find that beautiful rotation, open and close, finding that rotation. Little open, close, rotate, open, extend, bend, rotate, open, extend, and bend, and rotate, open, extend, bend, and rotate. We're going to hold everything open in 3, in 2, and 1. Hold it open here. Just hold that weight. Little up an inch with those toes and down. Little up, little down. You've got 5. You've got 4. You've got 3. You've got 2. And 1 from here. That weight can come, and it's just a bend and an extend. You can hold that weight out as well. It's a bend and an extend. Knee comes into the chest. Push it out. Knee into the chest. Push it out. If at any point you want that weight to come down or rest on your hip, just be mindful hips don't lift and lower. We're going to hold that knee in 3. In 2. Hold that knee in 1. Weight can come down. It's a little up an inch. Little down. Good. Little up. Little down for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. Knee comes down. Give yourself a nice push back here. All righty, my friends. Let's get a little bit deeper here into that core so you can use both of your weights now, and we'll have them just in hand. Now, we're going to roll ourselves down to the mat and find a nice lying down position. Legs go into that tabletop here. Now, head can start by resting down. Weights are going to come up overhead, wrists over your shoulders. Start by finding an exhale, lift head, neck, and shoulders. Weights sweep down by the side. And inhale, hands come up overhead. Exhale, hands come down. And then inhale, hands come up overhead. Now this time, can you extend those legs out? And then inhale, everything comes down. Exhale, extend out. And inhale, everything comes down. This time, as you extend out, separate the legs, close, and then bend as we lift those hands. Exhale, separate, close, and then find that beautiful bend. Exhale to lift, and then inhale to come down. Exhale to lift, extend, close, and then we're coming down. Let's hold this crunch up in 3. In 2, and 1. Hold the crunch up. Head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Just open and close and open and close and open and close. The lower those legs get to the floor, the more intense you'll feel this on the core. Let's hold those toes in 3. Hold the toes squeezed together in 2. And 1. Toes squeezed together, up an inch and down with the weights. Up an inch and down. Little pumps here. Modified hundreds. You're here for 5. We're not doing 100. You're here for 4. For 3. For 2. Keep them pumping. And 1. Inhale. Whew, draw those knees to your chest. Good job. All right, my friends, a little bit more on the core here. Toes are going to come up, and we're going to find those weights up here. Point those toes up to the ceiling. Exhale, fingertips to toes. Inhale, coming back down. Exhale, lift to reach. Inhale, back down. Exhale, reach. Inhale, back down. Exhale to reach. Inhale, back down. Now this time as you exhale to reach, open, close, inhale down. Exhale up, open, close, inhale down. Exhale up, open, close, inhale down. Exhale up, open, close, inhale down. Let's hold it up in 3, in 2, and 1. Hold it up here. Toes point up, just open and close and open and close. You're here for 5. We're holding in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Bring those knees in. Head can have a little bit of a rest here. We're still going to do a little bit of core here, my friends. So let's give ourselves a little roll. Once and twice. Coming up. You can use 2 weights here or 1 weight. We're going to find some rotations. So those weights can either lock together and you can squeeze those fingertips together around each of the weights, depending on what style of weight you have. Mine are quite round, so I'll make a little X with my weight and then crisscross my fingers. You're going to find a C-curve position here. So scooping out your core and think about zipping up and almost like you're fastening a seatbelt onto your body. You're going to lift those toes into a tabletop position here. And then we're going to rotate that torso over to the left side. Inhale to center, rotate to that right side. Inhale to center. 1 more like that. Rotate to the left, maintaining C-curve, inhale center, and then rotating over to that right side. Now to add on to this, extend opposite leg. Inhale to center, extend that opposite leg. Inhale to center. Extend as you exhale. Inhale to center. Extend, exhale. Inhale to center. Now, if at any point you'd like to modify this, it feels just not supportive in your body, those feet can always rest on the floor. And you can switch that rotation with toes touching the floor. Advance, those toes are hovering. All right, let's hold. We're going to find some pulses. We're going to hold it off to the left in 3, in 2, and 1. Hold it off to the left. Left leg is in tabletop, right toes extended. Twist that left elbow over to that left side. For 5. We're going to hold it in 4. Woo, feel that burn. For 3. For 2, hold it in 1. Right toes up and in, chin down. You've got 5. You've got 4. You've got 3. You've got 2. And 1. Inhale to center. Give yourself a nice little rounding. All right, we're going to take a little center break. Then we'll come back to that other side for our second set. So roll your body right back down. And then, my friends, we are going to find those toes up nice and high to the sky. And then find an exhale here. We're going to lift the right fingertips to the left toes. Inhale through center and exhale other side. Whew. Finding these cherry pickers, little side to side. Now advance, those shoulders never touch the floor. And really try to have those hips nice and still. Toes up. Hopefully you're not wearing a mic pack like I am. Ooh, let's hold. Those right fingertips up in 3, in 2, and 1. Right fingertips up. Good. Left hand can come in reach, and you're lifting and lowering that right side. Lift and lower. Weights are up. They're off to that left side. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. And 1. Right toes down. Good. And a little lift, little lower the right. For 5. For 4. We're switching sides in 3, in 2, and 1. Bring those knees in. Ooh, all right. Those toes are going to come up once again here, my friends. And we'll find some cherry pickers either side. Just bringing opposite wrist to opposite ankle here, keeping those toes pointed, that nice sharp point. We're going to find the hands up to that right side in 3, in 2, and 1. Hands to that right side. Good. Lift, lift, lift. Left toes down and up. left toes down, and up. For 5, keep those right toes pointed. You've got 4. Can you crunch up a little higher? 3. You've got 2. And 1, left toes, hover a little up an inch, little down, little up, little down. For 5. For 4. For 3, 2, 1. Woo, knees come in. Give yourself a little roll up. And we're going to find those twists one more time. Second round. Weights can come together. Hands can clasp around. Find that C curve. Hollow out the core. Think about zipping up a tight pair of jeans. And then find that stability. Those toes come into that tabletop. Twist left elbow to that right knee. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist. Inhale to center. Exhale to twist. Whew! Finding that beautiful rotation. Hips stay still. We're just rotating from the torso here. We're going to find that left elbow to your right knee this time in 5. In 4. Left elbow to that right knee in 3. We've got 2. And 1. Making sure that right side is in that nice tabletop position. Rotate with that right elbow right over. Woo, leading with your eyes, leading with that elbow. You've got 3. You've got 2. Hold it. And 1, up an inch and down with those right toes. You've got 5. For 4. For 3. Back to center in 2. And 1. Inhale to center. Round yourself over. Woo! Go us, hey? Go us. All right, my friends, we are almost done here. You're going to need just one weight. And we're going to find ourselves in a nice plank position here. So in this plank position, let's make sure that weight is just underneath your left hand to start. And we want our hips nice and still, like you can hold a tray of something on your back. We're going to reach that weight over with the right side, plant the right down, reach over with the left. Now, for a more supportive position, you can bring those feet about the width of your mat. What you're trying to do is keep your hips as still as possible. Now, that's very hard to do. What we're going to need to do is really brace that core, squeezing in through that transverse abdominals, making sure no arching of that low back. Good job. Now, if you want a little challenge, those feet can come in just a little closer. Really going to need to brace that core to keep no movement from coming. This is not about speed. It's about stability. It's about precision and making sure we're breathing through it here. All right, let's do 3 more. Let's do 2 more passes. Let's do 1 more pass here, my friends. Knees come down. Push yourself back. So good. Woo. All right, we're going to end here, my friends, with a little bit of weights here. So hands are going to be on those weights. We'll find that modified plank position once again. And we're going to drop it down, finding a tricep push-up. Whew. And then finding a little bicep. Coming down, tricep, bicep curl. Press back down, tricep push-up, bicep curl. Getting that heart rate up, little metabolic boost for the end of your workout here. Now, being mindful you're not dropping those weights down, just making a nice gentle press down, especially if you're in a small shared space, such as an apartment building. Let's hold down in those tricep push-ups in 3, in 2, and 1. Hold down in that tricep push-up. Press up an inch, press down. Press it up, press it down. Little up, little down, little up, little down. Let's hold it in 3. Hold it at a shaky spot in 2. And 1, just hold it here. We'll find a 10-second hold. Roll those shoulders down your back. Stay proud. Zip up through that core. You got those tight jeans on. You got 3, 2, and 1. Push it back. Oh my goodness gracious, friends. We're going to find ourselves in a nice little stretch. We've come to the end of 30 minutes already. So let's find a nice child's pose position. Knees can come out nice and wide. And you can press yourself back, hips hovering over your heels. And then head can just rest on the mat here. Really try to root in through your fingertips, creating length that you feel, stretching your armpits and pressing into those fingertips so much that those hips Might even be able to create some length and push back. Let's rock it over to that left side. Right fingertips can rest on the left fingertips here. Opening that right side body. And you might find you can push the hips back a little bit more. Inhale through center. And then we'll find our hands walking over to the right side of your mat, left fingertips on top of your right. As we push those fingertips back, finding that release in the left side body. Whew! Feeling that left hip quite a bit on this one. That feels great. Walk it back to center. One breath here. And then we can walk ourselves up. Friends, thank you so much for working out with me in our small space workout. You can find any other length of video on Sarah Lottie's. I can't wait to work out with you again. Let me know what you thought. Thanks, friends.